Josh Keeble-Wells here for the football forecast today. We're joined by Charlie and Evan. The following day from England's crushing defeat to Iceland. Boys, what are your thoughts?
Diabolical, terrible, just rubbish. Typical England, isn't it?
Tell me something we don't know.
It's just bad, isn't it? I mean, like, you would have thought that, like, over the last couple of tournaments that we would get used to this, but it never seems to surprise me how terrible we can actually be when it comes down to it.
So, building off that, do you think we can go into the next tournament with the same squad and build from where we have left off?
I mean, I think there's a lot of changing to be done, and I think over the next 2 years you're going to see a lot of people having to actually vie for their places. Like, there's people like Wayne Rooney who are no longer people who we can just say, oh, they'll definitely go. I mean, he shouldn't definitely go. And I think a lot of that comes down to whoever we bring in next they will set that tone, sort of thing.
Okay, and who should come in next? Who is your favourite for the England job?
Evan?
Me personally?
All right, then let's go to Evan. Who do you want for England manager?
I'd take Redknapp.
Would you?
Love Redknapp.
All day, every day?
All day, every day. I think we need someone who's gonna go against the run of play. Someone who's not afraid to tell them when they're not playing well. Someone who's not afraid to pick players on form, or if they're from a little club, or if they're from, not that I'm calling championship teams little clubs, but if they're from the championship, they should be able to get into that England team. You know, all these other countries, they don't care who you are, where you come from. If you're playing good football, you're getting in the team, right? Yeah. You know, and I think we should go on. If we don't get Redknapp, a lot of people won't like Redknapp. He's getting on a bit now, you know, so whatever. But Beckham, a lot of people are saying Beckham online. I think Beckham would be a great shout, you know.
Another option for me would be Eddie Howe, someone young, hungry.
Yeah.
He knows Bournemouth in and out. Get some young players in. What would you think about that?
I think for me, like, I would like to see whoever comes in next. I don't have like specific names. I mean, I have a few, but like for me, it would have to be someone who is willing to be progressive, is willing to pick young players, but willing to pick a team that can play as a team and not just pick the best players that we have, or the star players, or the players at the big clubs. So maybe someone like Eddie Howe. I've said to you earlier, like, if I was going to throw money at someone, I'd throw someone like Pochettino. Yeah. But like
Mourinho, man.
Yeah, Mourinho's not a bad shout. I mean, he won't come obviously because he's just gone to Man U. But like,
there's bigger things than Man U.
Yeah, that's true. But like, maybe even an outside bet, someone like, it's a crazy shout, but Bielsa. Just someone who's going to come in and be progressive about it and not just be the typical England crap.
Yes, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But for me, if we're throwing money at any foreign manager, for me it has to be Diego Simeone. But
would he come? I think that's more. He's a young man, and I think it's a young man's game to be at the height of your sort of ambition and win leagues, win cups, win Champions Leagues and whatever. And I think when he's older, 100%, he'll probably go down as one of the best international managers because he's aggressive and he's the way he is. But I think right now he wouldn't want to go into international managing. I really don't think he would.
All right, then let's go to another foreign manager. We're at the Olympic Stadium, so let's talk about Slaven Bilic. Would you take Slaven for England?
Never. It would be the worst England manager ever. Do not leave West Ham. I mean, obviously, we'd take him. He's genius. I mean, he's proved that to a lot of people that aren't West Ham fans. You know, he's been pundit ITV, done a cracking job. He clearly sees the game better than most. As you know, as a pundit, you usually think they sit back, but you can clearly see he's a very special manager and a clever man. So I would love him at England. If he could do like part-time West Ham, part-time England, then yes. If not, keep him here.
But Gareth Southgate is the current front runner for the job. As we can tell by your reaction, tell me more on your thoughts of the favourite.
I mean,
he missed the penalty, man.
Every Englishman has. There's no one there.
I think Gareth Southgate proves that like this isn't a problem that's going to be solved by just changing a manager. This isn't going to be a problem that's just solved by changing a couple of players. This needs to be like a top-down thing. England as a whole, like, is just kind of broken in that sense. You know, the FA continuously hire people who are wrong for every position. They don't particularly seem to know what they're doing the majority of the time. Like, even down to like when you look at like on pundit level, like, no offence to him, but why is Robbie Savage a pundit? Like, I just like
Savage.
I would like to go to the pub with him and have a drink, but I don't want to hear his, like, he just says nothing but like rubbish at me. And it's like, we never look forward, we never look progressively at things, and it's like, we need a top-down change, which unfortunately is not going to happen. And I think Gareth Southgate is the perfect example of that. They go, oh, who have we got? Southgate's been about a while, and he's clearly like, yes, man. The one good thing about him is obviously he knows the under-21 squad.
Yeah, but you've mentioned Robbie Savage, but that was the ultimate humiliation for me because it turned out Gareth Bale and Robbie Savage were right in the end. They were right, and this is the worrying thing about this. They know more about England than obviously Hodgson does, and apparently everyone does. So tell me what you thought of Hodgson's reign.
So it was one of these things that it came out of the blue for me because no one I knew ever wanted Hodgson. You know, when he was there, no one backed him. I mean, I think this is the only sort of tournament we've gone into in my lifetime where we haven't sort of gone, this could be our year. You know, if we get that result, we could.
Yeah, everyone seems to get the fever usually, but this time there's no pressure on anyone.
It was dead, man. His team selection was dead. His formations he played was dead. His substitutions during the tournament was dead. His decisions were awful. I don't remember one time where I sat there and thought, "Oh yeah, great shout, Hodgson. You've done really well there." I mean, every pundit saw it. Everyone that I spoke to in the pub saw it. We needed to have wingers yesterday. Actual first-class wingers that will play on the wing and break down a tight defence. And then he's playing Sturridge out there. He brought Wilshere on to play DM. God knows why. You know, we didn't need a DM if he was going to play him attacking. Kane just didn't seem up for the tournament, and he's put him on set pieces. I mean, how many times can we talk about this?
Yeah, I know.
From the beginning, Hodgson put Kane on set pieces when he should be in the box.
Just like that Harry Kane thing, it's like I didn't see him do a single thing from set pieces that warranted him taking all of them. And then at one point yesterday, I was watching it, Harry Kane took a free kick, Dele Alli started taking throw-ins. What is he doing? What's going on? I don't understand.
The Ulmer thing for me personally was that Hodgson didn't know his best 11. He didn't know his best system. He didn't know his best 23. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. We bought on Rashford in the last. We bought on Rashford in the last 5 minutes, and Rashford completed more take-ons than Raheem Sterling did in that 5 minutes than the whole tournament Raheem Sterling did. Raheem Sterling, for me, was awful. How he warrants £15 million in the transfer market is beyond me. And players like Mikel Antonio got overlooked.
Yeah. I mean,
why is that?
At the end of the day, he's picked players that he knows and that he thinks will make the FA the happiest. I think I don't know if we can argue that at all because you've seen it. He's never put his neck out on the line and gone for, like, even though he bought Vardy, you could say, it's all about where you are in the table, the reason he didn't bring Antonio, but it's not because, you know, Leicester won the league and Vardy's still sitting on the bench.
And Danny Drinkwater didn't even go.
So,
but you can't leave Vardy out when he's the second top goal scorer in the league.
Start
up front. Not on the wing.
Yeah,
but
he's a striker.
We had the top 2 goal scorers in the Premier League, and we went one up front. This is what I don't get. Our best system is a diamond.
Yeah,
I know that. You know that, as we spoke earlier.
Yeah,
and I know that as well.
And you know that. By the way you're speaking, you know that. So why does someone employed to do the job not know that? And he's playing with wingers, and he took one winger, right? And he plays with 2 wingers. Don't play with wingers if you're not going to take wingers.
And he picked the worst winger that he could have picked because even if you look at the stats from the season, there are so many better players that he could have bought. Townsend. Could have bought Townsend. Yeah. Townsend, I know, one-trick pony, whatever you have to say about him, he gets the job done. You know, he's fast. He would have broke down that team yesterday. Same goes for any of the other wingers apart from Sterling. Any of them.
Yeah, and I think, like, I can appreciate the fact that Roy Hodgson picked the players who got him to the dance in a way. I appreciate the fact he's loyal. I appreciate the fact he's going, all right, we have to. These people got us here. Let's give them that chance. But if you're not going to play the right formation for them, what's the point? Like, what is the point? Why not bring a Townsend? Why not bring an Antonio? Why not bring someone who's going to come in and maybe change the game a little bit instead of bringing on, like you say, Wilshere DM? Like, he's a great pass for the ball, but that wasn't from DM. That's not really what we were missing yesterday.
But when you're losing, is Wilshere going to change the game? I don't think he is.
Depends where he plays. Give him credit.
Wilshere's a very good player, but when you're winning, that's the time you really want Wilshere, because Wilshere thrives off that. Wilshere's a great ball player, but when you're 2-1 down at half time and you need to make that change to change the game, bringing Wilshere on at DM isn't the change you need to make. You need to throw on people like Rashford or Vardy.
We all said it. You know, we all stood there together. Rashford was the one. Everyone could see it. There was no ifs or buts about it. Rashford needed to come on. As soon as he did change the game, it was too late. So.
But for me, Rashford was the only one that comes out of yesterday with any credit whatsoever. And for anyone with like sons out there, you're someone looking at you and say, I want to be James Milner. Like, I'm growing up, I want to be James Milner.
I hope he watches this.
Yeah, James Milner, you're a disgrace. Right? No, but no one grows up saying, I want to be James Milner, I want to be Jordan Henderson. If you're Welsh, you grow up saying, I want to be Gareth Bale, I want to be Aaron Ramsey. We have no one standing out in that squad.
That's a good point.
That is our talisman. The only one I can think of is Rashford, and he's 18 years old and hasn't played a full season.
Yeah. So it's not even like on an ability level, it's just on like a form level. You want someone who goes out there and shows like pride in playing for like I'm not the biggest patriot in the world, but like you want someone who's going to go out there and play for the shirt essentially and be like, yeah, I'm proud to do this, I want to earn my place, I want to play as well as I can. And apart from Rashford, they all went out there and were just like a day's call about
I think you're right, but Joe Hart is a great example of that because he was the most passionate guy out there, and he's just had a shocker, isn't he?
And yet everything he's had to do, he hasn't done very well.
Yeah, he held his hands up straight away.
Yeah.
But it's, afterwards it's easy to say I'm sorry, isn't it?
Yeah.
But fair play to him. But I mean, you're right. If we had a team of everyone who's showing the same passion as Joe Hart does, Rooney used to have it. I don't know what's happened to him recently, but he used to have that fight and that aggression. I know he's calmed down a bit because he's got older and whatever, but he's not the same player. Like no world class player in the England team.
But is it hard to instill passion into a squad when you're Roy Hodgson? Because let's face it, Roy Hodgson is the most boring man on this world.
I don't know, James Milner.
Well, if you're in a dressing room and Roy Hodgson is your manager, you don't walk in expected to be fired up, motivated. I say, oh yeah, he's going to tell us numerous amount of things, then we're just going to go out and play.
Yeah.
You need someone that's going to instill passion. No one in this world has ever been inspired by Roy Hodgson other than Roy Hodgson.
Yeah.
And that is the be-all and end-all.
Yeah.
We need someone passionate, we need someone patriotic, and for me, Eddie Howe fits the bill. So.
And you look a bit like him.
Exclusive. I look like Eddie Howe. But boys, thank you very much.